Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I was just sort of thinking about how, McFarlane lost the license for DC and Mattel got it back and how that's going to go. I did a few videos about that, and I was just sort of looking at things because I just had stumbled across this really awesome Joker figure from like the Silver Age or whatever from McFarlane. And I bought that, and then I went looking for a Batman to go with it because he'd done so many Batman, and I looked and I couldn't find just the basic Batman figure from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, like that blue Batman with the, the yellow symbol, and there was nothing. I'm like, I'm really losing faith that we're going to get the remaining figures to sort of finish off the sort of overall era that came from McFarlane. Like, apparently we're getting a generic 1950s like first sort of version of Wonder Woman. We're not getting the Linda Carter version. We're not getting the 80s version, the Superpowers version, or the sort of what a lot of people think of as the definitive version of that character. And we're not getting that with Batman or any of the others. I ended up buying Dr. Fate and the Joker and somebody else. Oh, Superman's, because there's a really nice silver age or whatever Superman, and aside from the fact that his S has black lines around it when the rest of his costume doesn't, it should just be the plain colours. It was pretty much perfect, and I got that because I've been looking at some of them. There were so many variants, and I'm like, yeah, it's interesting, but no, it's not quite. And I saw this, I'm like, aside from the black lines on the uniform, that's perfect, so I got that one. But there isn't like a Batman equivalent. There's a Nightfall one that has some issues, like the plastic cape, and there's one that looks good, except it comes in a 2 set with some other character that's beating him up, and he's got like cuts in his uniform and his face is all bloodied and grimacing, and I'm like, why couldn't he just give us the basic version of that character and then do a variant where it's been beaten up and that? So I'm realizing that he squandered some of his opportunities, and this happens a lot where people have lines of toys and they want to save stuff for later on, and then they end up losing their contracts or not selling, and then the best stuff doesn't get made. And that seems to be happening with McFarlane. There's some stuff he actually, I guess, was holding out for to do later, and if we don't get it in the next year, the line's not going to be complete. And I was really hoping for Linda Carter Wonder Woman, classic Wonder Woman, classic Batman. I thought they'd done a classic Aquaman, and I had a closer look, I'm like, no. And it's a newer comic version. It kind of almost looks like the classic one, but so yeah, I'm just realizing I'm not going to get the ones that I actually thought I was going to get. And the reason I bought Dr. Fate, which may seem a bit random, was because he was in one of the only superhero comics I had as a kid, because my mum was smart enough to know I wouldn't be happy with just like one like superhero comic, and she would end up having to get every comic like every month. So she was just like I got like Superman 3 adaptation, because inside of, this is the American version, inside the Australian version there was like about 100 pages of black and white Superman stories, which were just a bunch of Superman comics reprinted. And it's like, there's pictures of Superman, there's the movie adaptation from the one I'd seen on TV, and there was original stories. Like, you've got your Superman comic, that's it, that's all you're getting. She did the same thing with Batman, where I got this big, thick, black and white volume with all these stories like The Killing Joke in it, and that's all I had. That was my Batman comic, because she knew that I wouldn't be able to stop at one, so she was getting me one and that's it. And then the other superhero comics I had as a kid, really, I think there was a Wonder Woman one as well, that I don't know what happened to that, and this All-Star Squadron, which had Dr. Fate in it. So I kind of saw the Dr. Fate toy and I'm like, wow, that looks just like him. Although his helmet is supposed to be gold, and I guess his costume is supposed to be gold as well, but in the comic it's yellow. The toy is yellow like the comic, but I've seen another one where parts of it are gold and other parts are yellow. It should all be gold. But so I got that because it was in this, and I do want because I remember this cover, of course. I do want the is it Spectre? But he's a bit trickier. There's one expensive version of him with a bunch of other stuff in it, a builder figure or something, and some older DC ones that are 6 inches. But yeah, so it's just really sad to realise, just as I started to collect the McFarlane figures, which I only started collecting them a couple of months ago, they lost the license, and the collections I started are never going to be finished. I'm not going to get the Linda Carter Wonder Woman to go with my Christopher Reeve Superman and my Adam West Batman and the Michael Keaton Batman. I'm not going to get the classic, Batman and Robin and Wonder Woman, all that, to go with my Joker and Superman, and it's just really disappointing because I don't think Mattel's going to give us those figures and give us the ones we didn't get. They're going to go in a total different direction, make it all about them, their new series, and not try and give the fans what they want and let the fans finish off the collections that they have and the scars they have from other toy manufacturers, because they don't care about us. They just care about them and what they're doing. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this situation, what we're going to get in the next year in a couple of months.